Hello, dear all. Today we are in Karlsruhe in Germany, and here just next to me, Zeynep Gedizlioğlu is sitting, and she is the only woman composer in Istanbul 2010 project. And as a Turkish woman myself, I must say that I'm very proud of her work. So, hello, Zeynep. How are you?
Hello, fine. And you?
Thank you very much. So we want to talk about her work for this project and her life or her past life in Istanbul. And we also want to ask her some questions about the piece she's composing and how her life right now as a composer is going. So, Zeynep, let's start with the standard questions, so to speak. I would like to know about you as a composer a little bit for the people who are listening or who are watching us right now. How was your life in Turkey, in Istanbul as a composer, and how did that affect you in your life outside of Turkey and in your compositional work?
When you asked me this question, the first thing that I thought about Istanbul and how the city affected me, the first thing that comes to my mind is melancholy, and certain kind of melancholy. I think the city has a very special kind of yes, it is not totally dark. It didn't make me unhappy, I think, something. And I'm thankful for this feeling that I received from Istanbul. I come from. I think the roots of the reason that one of the reasons that I became a composer or someone who creates is, I think, that the city is one of the reasons. I could say that like this. Yeah. And the other thing is that, my life in Istanbul, the difference from how I live now in Germany is that I was very near to piano that time.
So you were very, very close to piano and playing the piano yourself?
Yes, and composing with the piano mostly.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
That actually brings us to the second question I wanted to ask you. That's a perfect transition. Thank you. So the second question I wanted to ask was, how is composing for piano? So you're composing right now a piano piece for our project Istanbul 2010, which is going to last longer than only the year 2010 or 2010. And how is composing for piano? What are the challenges or fun times when composing the piano for the piano?
Okay, it was again different as I was in Istanbul. Now it's really a very different kind of process for me writing for piano. That time, I mean, in the past, yes, in Istanbul, it's always fun for me. I love composing. I could say that it's not always it's not an easy process sometimes, and it's something slow. Sometimes it doesn't happen very easily. The things are one needs time to get used to the idea that one write a piece for something. First the thing, but it's not just for piano. When you begin composing for something, piano or for choir or for electronic, I mean, first I have to get used to the idea that now I'm going to write a piece for piano. So I have to get used to this idea. I have to accept this. It's funny, I don't know, a funny thing. I don't know why. It's a kind of a little battle in my mind, actually. actually. I well, in Istanbul, because I was so near to, because I was so connected to piano, I tried everything. I mean, I behaved as a performer also, and so the how I thought was quite different than I do now. I was always connected to my not just to my ear or to my intellect or yes, to the tones, but to my finger and my capability of playing. So it changed very how can I say that? Drastically,
yeah.
yes. It changed very drastically when I came to Germany because I was suddenly disconnected. It had practical reason also because I didn't have any piano like as I did in Istanbul. But it was I think it was an advantage. I see it as an advantage, as a positive thing for me as a composer. This disconnection or this distance that I have now with the piano, because it gives me the chance to think about things or the musical ideas that I could not realize myself, that I could not play. Maybe it's too difficult for me, but I could imagine them, you know.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point.
And it's a challenge also to find to find the way between this thing that you could imagine but you can't realize that yourself. But you try to go to this point. So you do that not by performing or by trying things on piano, but on the table through composing process. It's very. I like that. I like that a lot.
That's great. So then, can one actually say that your distance to piano or to other instruments is actually more or less equal? It's just about the idea of preparing yourself for writing a certain kind of instrument or a certain kind of instrument group, rather than thinking about okay, right now I'm going to play or write for the piano and have certain possibilities and resonances that are makeable with the piano. So you don't really actually bother with that part much. You more think about the idea of working with a certain kind of instrument more than with the idea of limitations or capabilities.
It comes in a certain point during the composition process. But maybe not just at the beginning. Yeah.